Hello and happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Gary Gazzo. Welcome to P1's Lewis, it'd be awesome broadcaster if I could ever get this intro out of the way. Let's try this again. Hello again, everyone. I'm Gary Gazzo. Welcome to P1 Broadcasting's presentation of Round 3 of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series exhibition season as we come to you from the home of Petit Le Mans Road, Atlanta. And I know at least once or twice this race I'm going to call this Road America, and that's just out of habit. But anyways, joining me in the booth for this final race of this exhibition season is Luis Gonzalez Nunez, LGN. We got a little bit smaller field than we did last week, 9 cars instead of I think we had 10 last week, but so far, this is a pretty fun track to race. I mean, even if you're an oval racer like me and you, this track is not super technical, but it's very, very fast.
It's very fast, especially in the corners 2 to 4 is take the 5. So it's really tricky track. Especially you can see on the map, the track map is really easy to handle to driving around, but it's really hard. To be honest, it's especially in these cars, it's going so fast, and we have a good. Actually, I know you said about the small field, but it's still hard to drive over here, and we're gonna see a lot of drivers over here, and with the good timers over here, and it's gonna be hard again. It's really hard to drive over here, and 92 Fahrenheit in track, so. Still kind of low temperature, but let's see what's happened here.
And we'll bring in the weather here, just on your screen. There it is. Track temp 92, as mentioned, 73 degrees ambient. Oscar Fredrickson on the provisional pole. About 5 minutes left to play here. Watching Hector Cazalo. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And this is his first race of the season. Trying to put some time up on the board here. Gianni Pironi, here he is. He's in that Ryder eSports mega team they have here. He is currently undergoing his qualification run as well. He's in that very throaty, very powerful sounding Cadillac.
I mentioned about the turn 2 to 5. So on turn 2 you turn to the right, and you see, and you don't see the turn the turn 2.
Right.
So especially on these cars, it's really like a bubble inside. You can see an open wheel. Easy to see, or maybe something open car, but when you see the turn 2 and you see the going down in the SS, and then the tricky part on this track for my side is how to brake properly to take turn 5, because you're gonna find it the what is the name? The piano is maybe in Spanish. I said the blue and
the curbs.
Yeah, the curbs. Yeah, it's just too big, the curbs, and you can lose. And also you need to have the throttle. You have to push the throttle in that moment. So it's really a tricky part, because you can lose the car on the back.
That is true, and it's getting a good exit that can propel you into the fastest part of the racetrack, which is that whole far end of the racetrack. You're a chef, and for your day job, and I like food, and this track really, as you look at it from above, really reminds me of a bone-in ribeye steak. That's what it reminds me of. With that.
Exactly. The tomahawk, maybe?
The tomahawk steak, exactly. That's what it reminds me of. And that far in portion that you see on your screen there with the track map, that portion that has turns was that 6 and 7 there, I think. It's almost 7, yes. Yeah, you can almost use that as a double apex depending on the type of car you're in, and then that super long straight leading down to the chicane there. In fact, that portion of the racetrack is so long and so straight that when the Whittington brothers, who used to own this racetrack back in the day, of course they were involved in some illegal smuggling of goods back in the early 80s, if you know what I mean. They would land their airplanes here and have those smuggled goods be unloaded and then trickled off into the night. And I think we're done with qualifications. Everyone's just kind of waiting here. Minute 34 left to play if anyone else wants to put up a time. Oscar Fredrickson on the provisional pole, the 106.9. Jan Korbs just behind him. Korbs with a 0.034 margin right behind him. So they're literally almost on the same time there. Ericsson, Manahar, Holmer, and Peroni and Sullivan are those. O'Sullivan, excuse me, are those that have actually put up time here for qualification.
I also, when I talk about Road Atlanta, I always have remember. I didn't watch that race on live, but I watched it in the video when Barbosa went to turn 11, 12, and see this guy named Jeremy Dale and crash the car on the old 95 IMSA.
Oh, okay.
Competition. So you can see the board, the Barbosa on board, and you can see how the head is going in front, back. Very horrible crash. So he crashed the car on the Jeremy Dale and cut in half. And they survived. I don't know. They survived really good. Barbosa with a Ferrari. Couldn't have that Ferrari from Jeremy Dale, and in 95 in IMSA, the 3 hours of IMSA, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And if that's that name's very familiar to me because he is the 1987 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year from Fabrizio Barbosa. So. Yeah, I don't remember what finish he had that race, but typically the Rookie of the Year goes to the highest finishing rookie. Of course, that was the year Al Unser Sr. won his 4th race. The last year we saw Roberto Guerrero do really good, and then after that the curse of the speedway kind of got. Yeah, Barbosa finished 3rd that race, 2 laps down to the leaders of Al Unser Sr. and Roberto Guerrero. We are lining up here, getting ready to do 45 minutes of racing. Let's get in today's starting lineup. Oscar Fredrickson on the pole, the big O with a 106.9. Right next to them, Jan Korbs with a 106.9 as well. Jesper Eriksson, P3. Yashish. I said I must have called him Yanshish or something before, and they said there's no N in my name. So it's Yashish, there's no N in my name, Manahar. Even though there's an N in his last name, is P4. Cedric Holblum is P5. Daniel Holmer, P6. Gianni Peroni is P7. Liam O'Sullivan, first time we've seen him since covering the Indy cars here. At least I have. He is currently 8th, and he had a time of 107.6. And Joe Foxhall lining up at 9th with a 107.9. And we do have a 11 car field here. After Foxhall, we do have Colado and a Colazzo. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And then also lining up behind Colazzo is Robert Sadler and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. And we are now rolling, getting ready to take the green flag on this short pace lap. And we are green for 45 minutes side by side for P2 going into 1. The whole team Sweden, though, is starting to spread out and try to block out the top 3. Oscar Fredriksson, Jesper Eriksson, P1, P2 going into turn 1. And now we do the slalom downhill. Here's that turn. I think this is what, turn 5?
This is turn 5.
Yeah, turn 5. This is where, and that's Fredriksson gets in trouble. And that's right where you said that you have problems.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky because the car is like you're braking, but it's kind of don't brake, so you have to brake it before your mind thinking.
There's a lot of runoff area there, too. You could take that corner a lot wider. Here's Curbs down on the inside. He's in the preferred position coming into the chicanes here at the bottom of the hill. And change for the lead. No. Oscar fights back on the inside. Now he loses it going under the bridge down the hill and the completion of lap 1. Computer says we approximately 41 laps, and now we have a battle for third between Curbs and Holblom. Holblom trying to lock out the top 3 for Team Sweden there. Jan Curbs in the very patriotic Wayland sponsored livery there.
So the track record is I don't know. I'm a pronunciation is okay. It's Peugeot.
Peugeot, yep.
Peugeot, yeah. Peugeot 908 MMP1 for Christian Kriel. So 107.0. 1.07.0.
Gotcha.
That's the lap record for so far for here.
And Jesper Eriksson, a 107.5 purple lap that time by. And the downhill slalom portion of the track always reminds me of a ski run. And now they go into the turn 5. That's our wide exit right there, but it does run out. Now we're into the bone portion of the tomahawk ribeye. At the tip of the bone there. It's almost a double apex corner, depending on what kind of car you're in. Bigger cars can't make a double apex. Smaller cars can kind of do it. Now long straight. There's a bit of a curve there. They're going to count both those curves as turns here, just like the counterpart Road America does. Road Atlanta does. Now we go into the A and B chicanes downhill. There's your pit entry on the right. And a very short front stretch here. And a lot of times, and there's Fredriksson with a 107.4 countering his teammate.
I was thinking, why did they stop to use the old? Whoa! Almost lost it, Eriksson.
Yeah, and Fredriksson getting back the lead.
So I'm back to the question: why they stopped to use the old pit entry from the left side? I feel so complicated to go for the right side.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never really paid much attention to the sports car racing here to find out why they went from pit road left to pit road right. Normally when it comes to those type of things, it's a safety issue. I don't know.
Maybe a kind of chicane in between, they can fix it, but I think so. The entry for the right side is too complicated, but at the same time it's secure.
Yeah. Now we're projected about 40 laps. These guys are moving at a pretty good pace. This is my first hypercar race here that we broadcasted at Road Atlanta. We've done about a handful, about 3 or 4 IndyCar races here, specifically in the Formula Indy Series. Let's take a look at a close battle on the racetrack, though, here, going back to O'Sullivan and Manahar. They are now within a 10th. Manahar is kind of holding up a line right now. And O'Sullivan on him. Coming down into chicane braking zone. Manahar's going to... O'Sullivan tries to stick the nose in there. Manahar's not going to allow it. He takes off now. We go up the hill, under the bridge, back down the hill. Car gets really light there. And no matter what you drive, car gets pretty light there, especially when you're coming downhill.
Oh, I have the first DNF for the race, Hector Colasso. He hit on the same corner when I mentioned in turn 5 on lap 2. He hit very hard, and the end of the race for him.
So an early DNF now. We're down to, actually we did start with 11.
Yeah, well now we have a 10.
Now we have down to 10. Watching this battle for 6. This is the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. We got Yashish Manahar, Liam O'Sullivan, Joe Foxhall, Gianni Peroni, and Robert Sadler's just right there. There he is. He's getting ready to join this group. But this is a 5-car battle, really, all for 6th spot.
Great, because on the map in the map they don't say turn 10. They basically turn 10
A, yeah, and turn 10 B. Oh, and Manahar, goes off, and he's going to give up every position there and move him back to 10th as Manahar misses at the top of the hill. And you talked about the top of the hill there. When you come into turn 1 and turn 2, it's all pretty blind up there.
It's pretty blind. It's like when you make the turn 2 to the right, you have to... You feel inside it's like, oh, I have the momentum, but you lost it on turn 3 and 4, and then if you don't have the right momentum on there, you're gonna lose it on 5. It's like a train problem. It's like started from the back to the front. If it's not fixed from the back,
Robert Sadler getting the pass there. Yeah,
it's gonna be on the front. So that's why it's really tricky. You have to, it's like one of my friends said, you have to thinking before. So if you're thinking you're going to break it in this point, just break it before of that, because always going to be an issue.
Here it is. We'll watch from Manahar's point of view, just how you got to just know it's there. And there it is. That's exactly where he went off the last lap. But he's already reeling in Sadler and Peroni. Oh, and he goes wide, but gets back on. There we go. So now this is your closest battle on the racetrack between Peroni and Sadler. This is for 8th spot. And meanwhile, up at the front, we'll just give you the update up there. Fredrickson's off to a 1.3 second lead. Then is Curbs over Erickson, is in second. Curbs into third. Oh, and Robert goes wide there at the 10A, 10B chicane, and now he falls in the back as Manahar gets the position on him. So that closest battle of the racetrack has gone away, and we've settled that battle for at least a little while now. Next closest battle on the racetrack is this one right here between Curbs and Erickson. 6/10 separating these two.
kind of oversteer. I have Robert Sardet over there to be on the front. It's like I said, thinking that the car is going to the apex. Sometimes you need to thinking before.
Yeah.
I still say that, but this is really, really true, especially in all these cars, hypercars or maybe open wheels, kind of cars like maybe small cars like a Formula 3. You can at least handle with that, but
yeah,
this car is going so fast. You don't even realize in some moment you're gonna lose your front.
Yeah, the top of the hill turn here at Road Atlanta reminds me kind of turn 6 at Road America, where you're going up the hill under the bridge. You know there's a turn there, but you just gotta program your muscle memory to know that, okay, at this point I need to turn in order to hit the chicane to make this a good turn. Because if you miss up turn 6 at Road America, then that messes up turn 8. And then messes up that run down the turn 9 from Hurry Downs into the carousel area. So not as I don't think the top of the hill
was tight. I saw Pirioni. Pirioni is going inside for turn 7.
Oh, and he has lost part of his rear wing. Let's take a look at what happened there.
Oh no, he went wide on turn 6, and then he tried to brake on turn 7, and he went wide. Ow.
Let's watch here as he comes into 6. He gets down, not quite to the curbs, but then he's out into the grass. See some sparks flies. The under trace makes contact with the curbs. He spins and almost stops the car from hitting that barrier, and just enough contact for, at least in these cars, to classify losing your rear wing. So he's going to have to stop and get that repaired before he can really continue his race.
Let's be honest. In the real life, that one is not lose the back wheel. But
Right, you're right.
He's only keys there, so for sure. Now they have a still problem. He must to go to the pits and try to bring that and put a new.
Oh yeah, he's struggling right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll watch him make the turn to pit road here very shortly. Yeah, his car, there might be some other damage that we don't quite see, but here he comes. No, he's going to stay on the racetrack. Interesting.
At least he don't have, he don't have the purple back, also the meatball black, so he can continue, but it's like to race over car without wings. So it's gonna be on the wall soon for sure.
Daniel Holmer in 5th there was getting close to Cedric Holblum, and Holblum has then pulled out to about a 2nd lead now. Let's go back to this battle for 2nd as Curbs is really catching up to Ericsson here. Watch these guys as they go by the start-finish line. Holmer's caught back up to Cedric. We'll catch that battle here in just a second. This is the closest on the racetrack, though, as these two have been kind of dogging each other all race long. Not too far away from the projected halfway point already. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure we are a new channel, but we've all of us are old pros at this. We're starting something kind of new here. We all been broadcasters on another channel before. but we're kind of starting up the new P1 Broadcasting brand new channel. So the best thing you could do for us is like the video and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. So we have a lot of stuff upcoming, including 2 races this week on P1 after this. Tomorrow night is the North American Sim Racing IndyCar Oval Series recruitment race number 1 at Kansas. That is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. That'll be myself and Ryan Eric King will return to the booth with me. That's Jalopnik.com's Ryan Eric King. World famous noted journalist Ryan Eric King. And then we have on Sunday night the return of the Dark Horse Series, their summer 2,000-mile ride, where they will be taking a tour of all the Triple Crown tracks in IndyCar racing and making a grand slam of it, as they will go to each one of them for a 500-mile race over the course of the remainder of this summer. And they will start off with the Michigan 500. The LNP, I believe, is the sponsor of that. Or LPM, Loud Pedal Motorsports is the name of the team. Irish Hills, Michigan 500, and that is at 7 p.m. on Sunday here on P1. Back to the battle on the racetrack here now. 2 teammates, Holbloom and Holmer. Holmer has caught back up to Holbloom, and now we got a bit of a battle between teammates at the top of the hill coming into the slalom portion.
Just for the record, Joel Foxhall, I think is the name.
Foxhall, yeah.
Yes, he took the 7th place from
Rashish.
Yes, he spun on turn 6. So so far is the main. I talk about turn 5, but the main is turn 6 and 7. Everybody have an issue over there. I think so. They breaking too close for the grass, and for sure the car is spun for myself.
And I believe that's Peroni right behind him there in the Cadillac. Our field makeup today is, let's get into this here. We got 2 Caddies, 2 Porsches, and the rest are all Acuras.
And also Pironi changed the win, so he did a stop on lap 13.
And get that, and not a bad stop either, although I think they have unlimited fast repairs because this is an exhibition season. And then limited fast. So just the rule set on today, it is a 45-minute timed race. It's a 2.54-mile road course, permanent road course. There are unlimited fast repairs. Pit road speed is at 45 miles per hour. These guys will probably have to make 1 stop to get to the end, at least with fuel. They do not have to change tires if they do not want to. We've seen actually in the very first race of this season where the winner of that race just went fuel only on his last stop and kind of hung on there to the end. Let's go back up to the front to my man, the Big O, Oscar Fredrickson. The Big O is actually Oscar Robinson. He's a famous basketball player here in the state of Indiana. But Oscar Fredrickson, my Big O, he is currently leading by 3 seconds over his teammate Jesper Eriksson. We've seen Oscar kind of struggle in the first 2 races, kind of making mistakes, but this seems to be his style of racetrack right now as he's pulled away to a 3-second lead. Let's go back to P2. Jesper Eriksson, he is continuing to hold off Curbs. Curbs, who is now keeping it within a half second or under a second this battle right here.
Rashid on the back.
And he's
on the car.
Let's go back and take a look at that.
Really struggled with the car.
Oh yeah, he's in the downhill portion. The car is pretty light here, and then you're hitting these bumps. You're hitting these curbs, and I think he loses it going into one of the corners here. The back end just kind of comes around on him. Oh, that's why he hit a little extra grass more than he wanted. Yeah, there it is. And he kisses the wall a little bit. I don't know how that's going to hurt the tracking of the left rear, but he's back underway and give the position to Robert Sadler, or move Robert up to P8. He just can kind of plug it away back there, taking advantage of all these other mistakes of these drivers.
And it's coming to the pits.
There he is. Yep. Again, back to this close battle between teammates for 4th and 5th, Cedric Holbloom and Daniel Holbert. Where Cedric finished on the podium at our first race at Portimao.
Oh, John Corbin in boxes.
All right. Curb decided to maybe he's going to try to do some pit strategy to get ahead of Jesper, who will he'll have to eventually stop. Curb spinning those rear wheels. There he goes. Down. Now they change the tires. Now they will fill it full of fuel, at least the fuel to get to the end. He's down and away. Not a bad stop, 15 seconds. An appropriate American power with an American flag on it right there. Well, let's pop back up to the leaders. There is Oscar with a now 3.9 second lead over Ericsson. Ericsson now can focus on trying to run Oscar down a little bit if he'd like without someone dogging him. He has himself a 6-second lead over his teammate Holbroom. In fact, it is Team Sweden 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is the closest battle on the racetrack, so we'll keep a watch here. Liam O'Sullivan coming to pit road. That turns over 6th spot to Robert Sadler in the Technicolor Dreamcoat there. I'm really surprised Robert didn't decide to stick the pink wheels on this thing. That was kind of his MO when we did IndyCar racing. If I could look down the track, or I could look behind me, you know, whenever I saw behind me the bright pink wheels, or in front of me the bright pink wheels, I just knew it was Robert. And we threw 6 and 7 there. And this battle for third still is tight. You're now 21 of 40 into this thing. Here's Joe Foxhall in 5th. He is 8 seconds behind that battle that we were just watching right there. And then 10 seconds behind Foxhall is Sadler. This field is kind of spread out at the moment. We'll go back to this closest battle on the racetrack between these two.
It should be so. It's gonna be fun if it's like a competition, yellow flag, regroup everybody, and then fight it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it's fair, sometimes it's unfair, and I see Joel Foxhall for pits going now. But for the leader, for sure, it's not fair. but I see super strong. Oscar Fredriksson is going in 107, but the rest of the field is going in 108, 109.
Yeah, Oscar has worked his way up to a 5-second lead now, 5.5-second lead. Last lap was a 107.7. He does have the purple lap still.
But even John Corb is going fast and after changing the tires and so far.
Maybe we'll do, let's ride along with Oscar here, see how he does this. Hitting all the curbs. Here's turn 5. Let's see how he manages that. Hits that inside curb, gets the runoff area, gets back on. Nice. Of course, he's got an Acura. Acura, of course, is the luxury brand of Honda. The big Japanese automakers have entered their luxury brands in the racing in one form or another. Of course, we see the Acura here. Then, of course, Toyota's is Lexus. Of course, the last time I remember Nissan getting involved, at least at the Infinity level, was when they tried to put an engine into an Indy car. They were successful for a little while and got a couple wins, but not as very successful as they wanted. Eventually pulled back their support.
We have the second TNF for the race is
Gianni, yeah.
So exit to the turn 5. The car is moving to the... Wow, it's making like a kind of zigzag and then just try to fix it, but no, he hit the wall and gone.
So day done for the rider eSport entry of Gianni Peroni. He is now classified in 10th. 9 cars still remaining. We're past the halfway point here in the race. 24 of 40 projected laps here. It was a timed race of 45 minutes. Your leader, currently watching the closest battle on the racetrack between teammates of Cedric and Daniel here. Team Sweden as they come into 10 and A and B. And here comes Holmer in the pit road. See if he can possibly jump his teammate Cedric on this pit stop. So we'll see. He's coming on down to his spot. Meanwhile, back up front now, 6-second lead, Oscar Fredrickson. I'm going to probably say that Oscar is the most successful driver in the VOR IndyCar Series to never get a win.
Maybe he's going to win today.
Well, let's not jinx him, but he is on his way to a win here. He is on his way. We've seen his way on to wins before in VOR and things have happened, but we don't want to wish any of that today. Myself, I'm the least successful winner of a VOR race.
I see Cedric have a kind of small mistake on turn 7. They cost at least half a second, so he have to push hard to now because he did a very, very slow lap to now.
All right, so
at
push first.
From the, yeah, at least 1 second from the second place.
So push for Cedric. Robert Sadler is working his way up to 4th. He has not stopped yet. In fact, the top 4 have not stopped. Fredrickson, Ericsson, Holboom, and Sadler. None of them stopped. They're all 26 laps into their current stints. Those that have stopped on their longest stint right now is Curbs. Curbs stopped 7 laps ago, which seems like forever. And he is 7 laps into his stint after 1 stopping so far. And here comes Cedric.
Yes.
Very, very you're right. Very challenging pit road on. Or pit on road, that's what it say. So that will move when Sadler gets there, unless Sadler comes to pit road. That'll move Sadler up into the bottom step of the podium until he needs to pit. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's decided. I don't know if there's a way that no one, if anyone, can no stop this. I don't think there is.
It's coming, Daniel, on turn 11, 12. And he passing.
Yeah, and so that's a key pass right there because they were both fighting each other for third spot. That effectively, as we cycle through here, they're probably. I think they were fighting more for fourth spot rather. And now do we see Oscar or Ericsson or Sadler make the turn to pit road? They're both now, all three of them are 27 plus laps into their stints. Julian in chat saying hi. Are you on a train right now, Julian? I think Julian was just getting onto a train, and that's why he's not able to join us today. And there is Oscar is encountering lap traffic, so it might be he wants to come to pit road now, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Bring our leader to pit road. No speed, no speed, no speed, no speed. Let's get down. They're making a perfect stop. Get this win. Brett Ericsson's on too. So Sadler going to pit this time, or maybe get credit for some laps. I don't know if he'll get back in time to get out in front of Fredrickson. We'll see. And I don't see Ericsson going up on the jacks. I don't think Fredrickson went up on jacks. It might be fuel only for these guys. And there they go. Fredrickson with a 17-second stop. Ericsson with a 15-second stop. Sadler's going to get around Ericsson, but not quite making his way to Oscar for the lead. Sadler still needs to stop. Curbs has actually gone up to second now around Ericsson. Ericsson's going to want to try to get him back with fresher tires right now. You watch going through the slalom. He looked particularly aggressive hitting those corners.
So Ericsson didn't change tires.
No.
So it's going for that. So if he, like you can feel on the car. So it's not really hot at track temperature so far now. So I think so. It's just only you need to take care of the tire. So I don't see Fredrickson going outside, try to or brake bad. This happened on the first race on the season. So
yeah,
at least he do a good job now. It's very take care of the tires on this so far 30 laps. Yeah, 31, 30 laps.
Yeah, 30. And now this is the closest battle on the racetrack between Ericsson and Curbs. We're now about 10 to go. Approximately, at least that's what's projected and forecasted. Oscar's already pulled out to a 5-second lead over this battle right here between Jan and Jesper. The Battle of the Silent Jays. No, I'm sure I'm butchering Jan's last name. I'm trying to. I know that's an umlaut there over the O, and I'm going back to my German, and I think the umlaut over the O is supposed to make an sound like that. So it's not in English. Someone would say that it's Corbs, right? But it's like Curbs or something like that. I'm trying to say it. I'm sure I'm butchering it, but my apologies. 3 years of German only taught me one thing: that they have too many ways of saying the word "the."
So thinking about the English or the from here say something in Spanish or say my whole name, or thinking about the German people say my whole name in broadcasting.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I never see it yet. German people tell my whole name, but sounds weird when they do the best when they say my whole name, and I think so because I have 2 names and 2 last names.
Right.
So I don't know the guy have to be the right to correct, but we do our best to say the last names, especially with the German's name.
Well, the IndyCar racing is so fast that it's hard to say, especially you're in a fight. It's say your name really fast. That's kind of why I went to your initials LGN, because it was just easier to get out in fast IndyCar racing.
I've been in many leagues, and everybody say my whole name, and it sounds like you have a apple or potato in your mouth. So that's this. Yeah, I don't want to say that, but I already said. So sounds like that, but it's like, hey, at this they do the job. It's good.
Corbs is, as I just said, Corbs, but Curbs, I believe, is starting to pull away a little bit. He's put a second over Ericsson, and has now a good stranglehold of P2. So that earlier stop for Curbs has helped him get around Ericsson. So if we do get into the podium discussion, we'll ask him about the theory of his.
Oh, he have a slow down. Oh no, it's just he's. Oh, I just checked the Fredrickson. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. And that's that's I believe. If I bring up my relatives, I believe that's Manahar. Yeah, that's Manahar.
Yeah.
Manahar's back in 9th spot right now. That's just putting him a lap down at the moment.
Because I press the button and I see the car same like Curbs, and also Ericsson the same because the teammate, I thought this slowed down. I said, oh my god.
Seven laps to go projected here at Road Atlanta, and not to be confused with Road America. If you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series coming to you from Road Atlanta. We completed, we got about 7 laps to go, so I would say we're about 35 minutes into a 45-minute race, give or take. 45 minutes is a scheduled time limit here. If you're enjoying P1's coverage of today's race, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. The North American Sim Racing IndyCar Oval Series. And we'll have their first recruitment race at Kansas Speedway. Their startup league, which will start a 7-week season in September. And it'll all be here on P1. Join us tomorrow night. It's me, Ryan Eric King. And then on Sunday night, myself and the Catalyst Andrew Wood coming back with us here on P1. He will join me as we'll do the first of 4 500-mile races for the Dark Horse DW12 series this summer on their Summer Ride 2,000-mile Summer Ride Summer Series. Michigan 500.
The Legacy? Or is the new configuration?
The Michigan. I believe it's Legacy Michigan. Which the DW12s tend to race better there. At least that's what. Well, I've raced both there. And I've had fun with both. But people say that the Legacy tracks tend to agree better with the tire model on the DW12. The DW12 has the older tire model, has not been updated.
I mean, I think so. Never.
Nope.
I check the Jan and Jasper and also Ericsson how to take the turn 5 is really they use whole track to the right side. It's like they go straight. Mostly, including me, we take the curve inside on that sausage or something like that. They say, but these guys going straight. They leave the sausage and then they go straight to the
runoff area, and then they back to the track. We'll watch here. We're watching Oscar from the blimp here in the P1 airship. I want to thank TC for being the pilot today. He is going up the hill now, down through the downhill portion, slalom. If you're a skier, you'll really enjoy this portion right here. Now this starts to go back uphill. We got a lot of trees here. Here is the turn 5, and there you see the runoff area he used right there. Very liberal runoff area here. You don't get an X there necessarily. Now he's at the tip of the bone in the tomahawk ribeye, and now he's starting to come up the long side here. The runways that the Whittingtons use, so to speak. And it's a long run, and then it's partially downhill. It's a little uphill portion right at the very end. And then at the very, very end, is a downhill portion that sends you into those chicanes pretty fast. There they are, 10A, 10B. And then back uphill again. And the hill crests right there at the bridge. Now it's downhill again. Car gets light. Want to clip those inside corners, get the outside corners right there, and we complete yet another lap. 3 to go for Oscar Fredrickson, looking at his first victory here in the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series.
He's going fast, Jan. Curbs is going almost a half a second faster than Oscar. He's going close.
And we'll watch. 3 to go. Now, Jan did change tires. And last time by, a 107.5 for Jan. Oscar last time by did not change tires, a 108.1. 5-second lead now, 3 to go. Coming to now 2 to go for Oscar as he comes to the bottom of the hill, down the small front straight here. That time by with a 107.7 and almost identical times that time set by both of them, 108 and a 107.799 for Oscar. Oscar a little bit faster that time. But Jan on technically fresher tires. I do not think Oscar changed tires coming to pit road. I think he just went fuel only. There you see track temp is 93 right now, air temp 73. Not much has changed there. and a 10A, 10B, and I think we're going to be looking at
the white flag.
White flag, there we go. And there's Jan. He's not far behind, really. He's cut it to 4 seconds. A little more than half a lap to go for Oscar Fredrickson, looking at his first win here in the series. Good to see him get a win. Saw so many wins at the Vor in the Vorleer series when he and I were teammates. So close, so close. Spotted me to my first and only win in the Vor series.
Which one? Which race?
I won Gateway in Season 2.
Ooh.
And here he comes off the final corner. Oscar Fredrickson with the dub on Wednesday. And with the dub weave going in the one. Congratulations.
So the podium is the same where we started. So Oscar, Jan, and Ericsson. Just only Daniel won 2 positions.
Yeah, that's the biggest gainer actually was Robert Sadler. He can prove 3, but everyone else ahead of Robert, with the exception of Cedric, who finished exactly where he started. Holmer up 2, Sullivan up 2, Foxhall up 2. So good race for those guys. Let's get in here and take a look at these final standings here. Oscar Fredrickson led 37 laps, started from the pole. He got the triple. He didn't get the Grand Slam here. He won the race, started from the pole, and got the purple lap, but did not lead every single lap as he's doing donuts here in the middle of the screen. Let's see if we can get a better shot of that in the background here. Not really. The graphic's going to be right over him. But Oscar Fredrickson is your winner. Jan Korps, he finishes second, and with the strategy of stopping early, getting tires, and did cut into Oscar's lead a little bit there at the end, but just not enough time to catch him. Jan finishes second. Ericsson third. Homer fourth. Cedric Holboom in fifth. Liam O'Sullivan sixth. Joe Foxhole seventh. Robert Sadler in eighth. Manahar in ninth. Gianni in 10th. And final car on the results here is Hector Colzado, and he finishes 11th in the 11. Rough day for him. But there's still room for improvement, as this is just a kind of exhibition of this. I'm sure we'll see another season come out of this. Don't have any details right now.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool season. Even it's a short one, but it's pretty good. Because we learn how this works.
Right.
And especially if it's mixed with GT3, it's really much better, because you need to, especially on this circuit. I don't know how did this guy in real life do it on 12 hours, but pretty good.
See if we can get a replace leveled up here.
Oh, just remember what's happened last time with John. John? Was it John or with somebody else?
Yeah, we get into their channel, and they were listening to some aggressive punk music. Yes. And I believe we're going to check out Jesper here first, if he's available. Again, before we get into, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and give us the old thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Best thing to do. And let's get into the interview room here. Ooh. Here he is, Jesper Eriksson. Congratulations on the P3. Looks like a little bit of a different pit strategy by Jan there. Is eventually what got him around you is he was dogging you for most of that first stint. Was it the right call to go as long as you did, or maybe should you come in earlier like he did?
Personally for me, I think it was definitely the right call for me. I did make a few mistakes after he went into the pits, to kind of just push on and cover the undercut, but I made a few mistakes, lost a few tenths and seconds here and there, and that ultimately made him pass me. So that's where I blame it. But for me, I think I did correct.
Well, I mean, not too bad. I mean, you still finished on the podium, and as for your team, I mean, finishing 1 and 3 is pretty decent. You decided on that last, or your only stop, to not change tires. Is that correct? In hindsight, could you think if you had new tires, maybe run Jan down and pass them back, or just not enough time?
Definitely. I think I did make the correct call there too. With the new tires, the drop off wasn't major. I think it was like 2 or 3 tenths in the end of the whole race. So no, I don't think new tires would have made it that much better, to be honest. Jan just was a lot faster in the end there, and I didn't really have the pace.
Well, I mean, talk about the rest of your race. I mean, you pretty much. I mean, we had the camera on you a lot because you really seemed to have. It was a battle between you and Jan for a good portion of the race. Is it always better to have someone racing with you, pushing you, than instead of being by yourself in a kind of a race that doesn't have a lot of cars, where you can kind of lose focus and you're just making time, but you're not making performance laps? Does someone racing you help?
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Really just depends on the car. For example, this car is really it's super sensitive if you heat up the tires. So for me, now that it pushed me, no, it wasn't really that good, but it was a lot more fun to just drive around then. But in other cars, yes, then maybe you want someone in front or behind just to push you that a little bit extra.
All right. Well, look, congratulations on the P3. Third race of this little exhibition season. I'm sure we'll have another season announced here sometime soon, but I'm sure getting on the podium is at least a good sign that when a new season gets here, you'll be one of the key players. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
First of all, I definitely want to congrats Oscar on winning the race. He drove absolutely stellar race. And then the rest of my teammates, Daniel Harmer and Cedric, absolute chads. Really nice to just talk and race together, and the whole team, of course, sponsored everyone. Thanks a lot, and I'm really excited for a new season. I really hope it comes soon because, man, this is fun.
I agree. Well, congratulations on the P3, and when the next season gets here, whenever that is, we'll check you out then.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, boys.
Yeah. So I learned a new phrase that when your teammates are really, really good, they did a good job, they're absolute chads. You know what? I'm and some things I'm still a bit of a boomer. I'm an early Gen Xer, so like you hear that, you're like absolute. Okay, all right. Because the last time anybody in my generation made a big deal about chads, they were hanging chads down in the 2000 election in Florida. So. That is interesting. I appreciate Jesper schooling me on that. Okay, so everyone turn down your speakers. We're getting ready to bring in Jan. We don't know if he's listening to the aggressive punk rock again. We shall bring him in right now.
I'm not sure if I think it was him. I think so. The other one. I don't remember.
We'll bring him on down. And here he is in the booth with us. And yes, there he is. Jan, are you there?
Yes.
Well, talk about your race. You had an early stop. You kind of stopped much earlier than everyone else for a scheduled stop, that is. And that really got you that position over Jesper when his stop occurred, because he had to take longer. He also chose not to change tires, but with you and newer tires and a lighter car, you were able to put better time on the racetrack and get by him to get the second spot.
Yes. Yes. You pretty much summed up everything which happened in my race.
Okay. Well, when did you make the decision that you're going to do the early stop?
Pretty much, like, I don't know, I started one attempt where I put my car into attack mode, but it wasn't enough, and then I started to figuring out, okay, I got a pit, do I take tires or not, and then I ended up taking tires as well, because it's no time loss in the end if you take tires or not.
Mm-hmm.
Took your tires because the caddy is like really rear sensitive, especially with the double right-hander with the slow traction zone you have there, and it worked out, yes. Also with the clean air I had suddenly.
That does help, yeah.
But, yeah, the gap to Oscar just was too big to catch up. Like,
so let me ask you a question though. You got a 5.1K rating here in the sim. When you race, we've heard the music. When we bring it in, is that what you listen to when you race?
No, not really. It's like a lot of different music I listen to, but this time I actually didn't listen to any music at all. It's like a Discord thing.
Okay, I was just wondering because I know some people are just plugged in and programmed different. That music would be distracting for some. I think it would be distracting for me. I think, while others would be like, I gotta have music in order for me to race because I need a soundtrack or something. I was just curious about that. But any friends, family, sponsors you want to give a shout out to before we let you go for the second place finish?
Yeah. Shout out to like everybody at Reiter, especially Johnny, who was interested to do the race, also signed up with Cadillac and had like much more issues to handle the car and the setup than I had. It was a hard setup this week, yes, but thanks for bringing your time. And yeah, hi mom.
That's the important one. There you go. All right. Well, congratulations to you and your mom. And we'll catch you whenever the next race is announced for the next season. So thanks for being a part of it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And let's bring down my man, Oscar Fredrickson. Here he is, Oscar Fredrickson in the booth. My man, it's good to have you on the program finally. But even more importantly, it's good to have you on the podium. And beyond that, it's good to see you win.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to see you guys. It's been way too long.
It has been way too long. Well, talk about your race. I mean, you kind of dominated from the get-go here. You had a little bit of a battle for the first lap or so, and then kind of slowly pulled away. And then after that, really, your pit stop late. You chose not to go with tires. Jan did go with tires, so he ate into your lead just a little bit, but there was really no question once you broke away into the 2-second range very early in the races. This was kind of your race to lose, so to speak. Talk about your race and how you kind of approached it.
Yeah, a bit of a scary moment there, coming down the hill on the first lap, lost the lead to Jesper, which he always has a really great race pace. So I was like, okay, this is probably it. Just stick with him, but he's gonna pull away. Okay, that was that. But I knew I had good pace, and this is one of my absolute favorite tracks. Just enjoy driving it, and so I was just trying to stick with him. And then he made a mistake going up the hill, kind of a similar mistake to me. Just the car snapped on him. So I managed to get the lead back, and then I was able to kind of extend from there. Knew from the earlier races that tires can be an issue in this car, which I haven't experienced in endurance races with this car. But with the higher temps, they were really burning off. So I was being really careful on the tires, and I was kind of debating throughout the stint, should I go with the tire swap or not, knowing it's much colder in this race. And the laps coming to the pit stops, I was feeling really good on the tires. So I decided to just stay with the same tires, not swap, save a bit of time in the pits. Surprised to hear that Jan did take tires, just he was really close to me on the pit exit. So I assumed that he didn't take any either, but apparently did. But yeah, I continued feeling good on the tires. The balance was good, so was able to kind of bring it home with the gap I had.
So I was kind of reminding folks during the broadcast that you and I were teammates in the IndyCar series in VOR. And there's one thing missing from this race that would have made it a little bit better and a lot more funnier as well. And that's if Julian was here and you beat Julian. Knowing how much crap Julian gave you in those IndyCar races, to see you dish it back would have been a good thing. But we're just kidding, Julian. I know he's listening, but I am just thrilled to have you, to finally to have you on for a win, because I was just telling folks that you were like the best driver in all of VOR to never get a win, and to get a win here definitely always validated what I thought about you, is that you've always had a good skill set. And not IndyCar is not for everybody, but these hypercars really seem to suit your style pretty well.
It's funny you say that, because I think I'm faster in the IndyCar than I am this car. We are preparing for an IndyCar league coming in the coming few months. So I've been driving that car a bit, and switching between that car and this car, I'm like, I can't figure this car out. The IndyCar is so much more intuitive for me to drive. It's funny you say that, but yeah, I can have pace in both of them.
Now, does the IndyCar have any teal on it, or cyan?
Any what?
Any cyan or teal?
Light blue. We have kind of a new team, but we merged our old Force team with what's now Sim Race Sweden, so we can join forces with those. So we're bringing those colors on board. But I'm making deliveries, so I'm trying to kind of introduce a bit more light blue. So we'll see. Maybe the IndyCar will have a spec map making it.
I'm about to say it's not an Oscar. It's not an Oscar Fredrickson IndyCar if there's not any cyan on it somewhere. So,
yeah.
Well, congratulations, man.
That one was black, white, and orange. So.
Right. we had fun. We had fun with those cars. Well, congratulations. I know you have some folks you want to say hi to, shout out, give greetings to for this win. So go right ahead.
Yeah, of course, always a big shout out to the team. Good to get a bunch of guys in here with me, Jesper, Daniel, and Cedric, and also, of course, a big thanks to Robert for organizing this event, and of course, a big shout out to Sim Race Sweden for backing us up.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations, sir. Finally glad to have you here in the booth. It's been a long time. I know you and I have chatted a little bit through DMs, but it's actually a long time since we've actually physically spoken to one another. So good to have you here. Congratulations on the win. Please go celebrating and have an enjoyable Wednesday night.
Thank you. I will. Have a good one.
Well, there you go. Very happy Oscar Fredrickson with the win here at Road Atlanta. Lewis, what do you think of today's race, and what do you think of this kind of series as a whole going forward? Hypercars doing sprint races.
I think so. It's good to have it around new experience. This is a new experience for us, especially in the comments. So it's really difficult to try to in the process try to understand the moment, but in 3 races we kind of understand what is the main goal over here, and especially the strategy. Today the race was really with a small field. The race is really fast for me, so it's really I really enjoy to watch everybody or see everybody how to take the curves, the turns, or take the apex and things. It's really nice. I really enjoyed the race today, and I really enjoy all of these 3 races, especially on Daytona. Daytona really was a good race, and I think so. I hope for the next season. I know it's at the preseason today. It's like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the main season, the season 1, it's gonna be more field, more people, more strategy. Maybe no fast repair. Maybe 1. I think so. 1 is okay to keep the field around.
Sure, yeah.
One fast repair, and it's take you 1 lap down. Basically, they put it down to the battle.
Yeah.
But I think so. Maybe we can see more GT cars. Maybe put 5 cars of the GTP.
GT, okay.
And put GT cars or Turismo cars. So it's going to be a good one for learn more and more. So, but yeah, good season, good battles today, and let's see the next one.
All right, and say hi to everybody in chat. Julian checked in, Robert checked in, Dan Morera, my hero, checked in. Shane checked in. Shane's going to be the admin of that North America Sim Racing IndyCar Oval Series coming up, and we'll give you guys here a shout out just momentarily one more time. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium from Road Atlanta is Oscar Fredrickson, my man, the big O with the win, the big dub there. Jan Kurbs finishing second. Again, sorry for blowing out everyone's speakers. And Jesper Eriksson finishes third. Good day for the Swedish racing team, finishing first, third, fourth, and fifth. Join myself and Ryan Eric King, that's Jalopniks.com, Ryan Eric Kings, tomorrow night at Kansas Speedway for the first of 2 recruitment races for the North American Sim Racing IndyCar Oval Series. Coverage begins around 8 p.m. Eastern time. Again, it's 8:00 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything here at youtube.com at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game, well, it's algorithm's hard enough to say, but the game's hard enough, so it's not easy, and it's hard enough to play as it is. So please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video, would you? And if you're new, click subscribe, and while you at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so I'll miss out more of other P1's other iRacing programming, including the NASR IndyCar Oval Series tomorrow and the Dark Horse DW12 Summer Series on Sunday. Track cams provided today by Whiplash Sim Cams. I want to thank Whiplash Sim Cams for being the official camera pack provider of P1 Broadcasting. To learn more about Whiplash, follow them on Twitter, like them on Facebook, or you can also follow them on Instagram. All the links are in the description. So for LGN, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying all good night and good day, actually, and thanks for watching. And all our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here tomorrow night at Kansas for the next race on P1 Broadcasting. See ya!